Hey there, ladies and geeks, it's your fanboy James. If you're like me, and I hope you are, geekishly handsome.
You serious?
Okay, if you're like me, you love video games. Even if you play them as much as I do, you may have only recently heard of PlayStation's latest hero shooter, Concord, which is probably one of the many reasons it failed. So, if video games are your jam, and you get your jollies by finding out why they failed, stick around, because you're gonna love this one. I guarantee it. PlayStation's Concord, which failed to break 700 concurrent players on Steam, has proven to be one of the most colossal and dismal video game failures in recent memory. Here are the top 10 contributing factors to this title's epic crash and burn. In a market where every hero shooter is free to play, Concord pushed its luck with a $40 price tag and the promise of a bunch of free stuff.
Are you insane?
That's simply not a deal that gamers want to make, especially with the saturation of free games already on the market, many of which are far better. While hero shooters like Overwatch and Apex Legends remain decently popular, new entries into the market are almost instantly shunned. It's an uphill battle for acceptance that Concord just couldn't muster. Concord took nearly a decade to release and already felt dated once it finally was. Now, no game should take this long to make, and the fact that it did should have been one of its first red flags. In fact, as far as I can tell, the only game that took a long time that was any good was Red Dead Redemption 2. And let's face it, that game is a high bar to live up to. A core problem with Concord is that it's simply visually unappealing. Alright, fine, it's downright ugly. Character design is an absolute mess, and it looks like something we would have seen on an early-gen console about 15 years ago. Overwatch proved that you can have characters that aren't traditionally attractive and still have a good-looking game. I mean, they have a gorilla for crying out loud. Much like the failed Starfield, Concord unwisely waded into the identity politics game in terms of character design and pronouns in their bios.
Please, not again.
Unlike Baldur's Gate 3, which manages to balance veiled wokeness with good storytelling, Concord doesn't have such quality or fan base to fall back on, and as such, they doom themselves to failure and criticism right out of the gate. With an official trailer released a mere 2 months before its launch and with little marketing to follow, Sony cost themselves awareness of the title. The result was almost a complete obliviousness of the fan base to the game's release weekend. Definitely not a good start. Sony bizarrely decided to invest a lot of time and money into motion capture cutscenes that tend to be a limited spectacle in most PvP games. I gotta wonder whose decision it was and if they had any idea how much it would cost them in the end. Spoiler alert, it's a lot. When you're entering a market like this with a $40 price tag, you must stand out. A lot. If a game can't do this aesthetically, it damn well better do it with gameplay. Concord does neither, and for that, it doomed itself to failure and obscurity. Concord is derivative, and I mean of so much. It feels like a mix of Overwatch, Valorant, and Destiny, and takes mechanics and skills from these far superior games. It's just one more thing that makes Concord fail to stand out amongst this already crowded field. The fanfare that Concord could have enjoyed has been drowned out by other game releases and much bigger news. For example, Valve's official announcement of Deadlock made the same night that Concord was released. That's what you call some bad timing. If things couldn't get any worse for this failure, then came this news. Concord servers are now offline just 2 weeks, well, 2 weeks and maybe a couple days, just after one of the worst launches in recent memory. That's kicking a digital horse when he's down.
Emotional damage!
Ultimately, Concord suffered from the simple and classically tragic case of poor planning, poor development, and poor execution. Making it free to play and refunding anyone who bought into this digital can of crap won't help at this point, as the damage done to this dismal title has ensured that no one will remember its name in a month. But what are your thoughts on this game? Is there more than just 10 reasons for its failure? Am I being too harsh again as usual? Or is it deserving of every single hit it takes? You let me know in the comments, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, share this sucker to everybody you know, and until next time, my fellow geeks, y'all stay nerdy out there. Take care.